Where's that bus coming? Come on.
I'm looking forward to getting away from my mother.
They were the recruits for the class of
39.
Before 1939, they lived their ordinary lives like young people do today, never dreaming what lay before them and their generation. I was a London street Arab. My father was a long-distance steam train driver, LMS, London, Midland, Scottish Railway. He used to take goods trains up to Scotland and come back with a load. So, well, I had what we almost call a comfortable working man's family. Yeah, very close. Very close. And typical. We had a flat in a semi-detached house which had been split. Well, all of them had been in the area. They'd come down in the social scale, just outside London. Willesden Junction Station. You could hear all the noises from the station there. We used to play out in the street. Well, there was nowhere else. I think we had to go a mile to a park. No, more. It was a day out, nearly. I'm off to the park. And you'd disappear for the day. But that was it. That was our life, yeah.
Our background was a wonderful family life. The affection was there, the love was there. Oh, and the other thing was, of course, we were brought up to say our prayers every night.
We were very tennis-minded, being from Wimbledon. We used to get to the All England courts to watch the championships there. And the electricity company were very good. They used to give us tickets and the afternoon off to go and watch them. And we used to get up in the morning and go swimming at the Wimbledon swimming baths before work. We used to go boating on the Thames. We used to go picnicking on the islands on the Thames. We used to walk across the common to Richmond Park and go skating at the Richmond skating rink. And of course, we used to do a lot of dancing. There were a lot of local hots going on all the time that we used to go to. We used to go to the Wimbledon Palais, but most of all, we used to go to the Richmond Palais. No, it was Streatham Hill. I think it was Streatham Hill. And you used to get your tickets and the price of your train fare for about 1 and 6pence. Oh, it was marvellous. It really was marvellous dancing. And we were so keen on dancing, we used to go for lessons. And we had this teacher, and this was at Tooting also.
I remember she taught us the tango, and I thought we were very with it because she was with it, and I always remember she had a dancing class was held in a room that was all black. The wallpaper was all black, and ceiling and floor was all black, and just very subdued lights.
My father was a butcher, kept a few cows as well, and back in the 1930s, I was one of the 2 million unemployed. I mean, people complain today, but it was nothing to what we put up with then.
I can remember there's that walking from, with nothing to do, you see. You got up in the morning, what do? You say to the old chap, you say, are you going to do it for work? Which is a ridiculous thing to say when there isn't
and wondering what to do, I'd walk down to Grimsby, and then I'd walk back again. At least my belly was usually full, so I was better off than most people. But sometimes I'd go right down to the Grimsby fish stocks, and I'd beg a bit of fish from the barra boys there, and then I'd carry that fish back to Cleethorpes, and the boarding house keepers would buy it off you to prepare meals, you see, for the visitors, for 4pence. Well, that meant 10 woodbine. Well, I was made that day. 10 woodbine, 10 whole woodbine. You wouldn't believe it now, would you?
Hello. I met my husband Roy in Leeds, doing his first year of architecture. He then went to London to the Architectural Association, and I followed him. I went to the Royal Academy School studying sculpture. Well, most of our friends were artists, musicians, actors, all that set, in Bloomsbury, of course. Well, just before the war, Roy spent 6 months in Germany, working in Hamburg, meeting very, very interesting top artists. He really found them all marvellous people. None of that fatherland rot. They weren't Nazis. In fact, the people he was staying with were helping to get Jews out of, through Hamburg into Scandinavia. And what would Roy be then?
21, so it was a very formative, impressionable times. And he must have admired these people so much that, especially in the wars in Germany, imagine, the whole thing became totally unreal.
My father worked for an arms manufacturer, but he was always opposed to war. I think he was just good at making arms.
I left school. I had no academic education at all. I just did my school leavers, and I did well in maths. I was very good at maths. So and a relation of mine, brothers, had been cashier of the Bank of England. So I went to the bank, and they said, "You didn't go to the right grammar school, and we don't take people unless they've been to the Royal Grammar School in Newcastle."
So then I went to an accountant, and the very first question they asked me was, "What does your father do?" Because in those days, we were articled, which means you had to pay to learn the job. And there were 5 of us, and we were trying to buy our own house, so there's no way my father could afford that. So the first real job I had was with an engineering insurance company. I was a clerk. I was perfect for office work. I was a weedy young chap. Looked like I'd blow over in a stiff breeze. Nobody would ever guess I was going to spend the rest of my working life battling away against those bitterly cold easterly winds coming straight in from the Russian steppes.
2 million unemployed, that's a lot of young people, and old people as well, who couldn't get work, and it seemed they had no chance of getting work. And therefore this got you really keenly interested in politics. And my approach, and a lot of the members of the Labour Party, was, what was the point of having wars and killing people? I mean, if you can't keep people alive and in work, what was the point of fighting, see? And that's where the No More War movement come in, and it started in the Labour Party, in the Labour Party League of Youth. And that's where I then, following on, there come the Peace Pledge Union, the PPU. But a lot of them, they were religious pacifists. They were pacifists by what you might call religious conviction. But it wasn't, as far as I was condoned. It simply
Just didn't make sense!
Say no to conscription!
Say no to the madness!
Refuse conscription!
before it's too late.
No more war!
No more war! No more war! No more war! No more war! No more war! No more war!
do something, I forced you to do something.